So I've unplugged the various connections. It's not so bad actually. There's only a couple of plugs on this cable that goes down to the swell pedal and the pedal board, and there's a tag there that a sort of a nothing connection that goes to a screw down here. So I've made some notes, but it's not so difficult that. And then there's just these as well, another two plugs that go to this circuit board, and you have to press on a sort of a spring thing on the side to before you can pull them out. So these two plugs, one goes to the corner of the big circuit board, and the other one goes to this small circuit board up here. You've got to take another plug out. This one out lies sort of over the top of it, so that one has got to be taken out before you can actually take that out. But it's fairly straightforward. No, not really much to it. Now I was hoping that you could actually push these down and push the cables through, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I get a feeling that the holes in the bottom section are perhaps smaller than these holes. I expected them to be bigger, and I definitely get that feeling with this one because I can put my finger down and I can actually feel the hole. It's quite small. So what we'll do is when the screws are taken out that hold the top section to the bottom, then we'll lift it, slide some blocks of wood underneath, and then feed these cables down into the gap that we've created by putting the blocks of wood there, and we'll pull them out. That's the intention. The screws that bolt the top section to the bottom were fairly difficult to get undone. They were all tight up, and one of them in the other corner, this screw here, right far away, I had to drill the top off the screw. So what I would recommend, and what I will do, is when I put this back together again, I'll use cap screws or cap head screws, the type that you need an Allen key for, and those will make a better job. The size of these is M4 by 12mm long, and like I said, I've got some screws, Allen screws, which I'm definitely going to use. These Posi-Drive screw heads are just no good, particularly at the back here. No good at all. I think with a bit of extra thought, and possibly if you're electronics orientated, you could actually put extensions on and engineer a plug and socket arrangement underneath for these connections. And also, instead of having these fixings inside the organ, I think you could actually engineer them reasonably easy to be underneath the front and the back, similar to what they are on the EL range, and then you could always take this for gigging. Seems ridiculous that they've done it this way to me, and it's caused all this wicked headache. But I don't think I'll go to the trouble of putting plugs and sockets on, because if it's just a case that you want to move it and then it stays put for a few years or so before you want to move it again and have to go through this rigmarole, that's not too bad, particularly if you can refer to this video on how to do it. So come back to us in a few minutes and we'll have got the top off. I won't bore you by spending time undoing these screws. we'll undo the screws, we'll put the blocks of wood underneath, and we'll feed these cables through, and we'll show you what we've done at that stage. Okay.